Hi everyone, this is Mandy. Welcome back, and I'm going to do a little 8-inch bloom. I had already done one earlier this evening, and so I just decided to do a separate video. So this is an 8-inch MDF round. This is only my second bloom in like 2 months, so I just kind of wanted to not lose my touch a little bit. But my cell activator is old, and yeah. So the colors I'm going to use today are really beautiful. I'm going to show them to you. And I am using my smaller tripod, so when I blow the bloom out, my head's going to be right in the way. So sorry in advance. But the pillow I'm using is Valspar 2000, I think is what it's called, from Lowe's, and it's an eggshell. I don't have the can in front of me, so I hope that's not a lie. But it got really thick when it got really cold here. I'm in Texas, and of course it got really cold everywhere recently, and all of my paints got really thick, even in the house. So now I know what some of you guys deal with that don't live in more warm, humid climate. So that first color is Diox Violet from Colourarte, and that is a vivid intense, so it's a fluid acrylic. The second one is Fresh Pine, which is a primary element from Colourarte. It's from the most recent set, and I think I have that linked in the description box. And now next up is going to be Nantucket Blue, which is also from that set. Really beautiful, just nice aqua blue. And I've had some of these colors mixed up since I got the set, but I haven't been able to use them all, so that was part of my motivation in doing this bloom. And I love Prussian Violet, which is that color. That's also from the same set of primary elements. You can use my code, Mandy1120, and save 15% off of anything on the Colourarte website. I think it's actually going back to 20. I'm not sure if it's already in effect or not. But I have all of that in the description box below. And there is a new set of Vivid Intense colors. I don't have them yet, but once I get them, I will show them to you. I love fluid acrylics. If you watch my channel, you know I do a lot of blooms. I use fluid acrylics more than any other kind of paint. This is Cobalt Aqua from Colourarte. Also a fluid acrylic, and one of my favorites, obviously, because I love Cobalt Turquoise, Cobalt Teal. That's my jam for sure. So anyway, and I'm going to add a little bit of titanium white from Colourarte right underneath the cell activator. I will tell you, based on my results, I end up using too much white. This is where you have to be careful. Titanium white is opaque. So when you use an opaque color, you get really cool cell reactions, but it can easily take over and keep the rest of your colors from showing through underneath, which is the whole purpose of transparent, semi-transparent colors. So if I were to do this bloom again, what I would do differently is I would drizzle that white instead of putting so much right there in the middle under my cell activator. My cell activator is going to be Paynes Gray from M Graham mixed with Australian Floetrol. I have a bloom mixing tutorial video in every description box. I get this question a ton. So feel free to refer to that if you want to know like how I mix. You know, things I use might change, but that's kind of a good baseline. And I buy my M Graham paints, and pretty much all of my non-Colourarte paints I get from Blick, and I have a Blick link online as well. So all of that is listed below for you. My Australian Floetrol I get from Pixel Paint Designs, and there is a 10% discount code in the description box, and she ships from the United States and has excellent prices. That's also where I get my boom gels from, global paints from. So definitely don't forget to check out the description box. My Amazon link is there, so lots of good stuff. Sorry about my head being right in your way. That's just, my tripod is like literally right above my head, and so I wasn't gonna rearrange everything. So you're not getting the best view of the blow. I am trying to do better at blowing to the side. I was very rusty. I find if I don't do blooms very often, I get a little bit rusty. But yeah, if I were to do this one again, the one thing I would do differently would be to drizzle the white instead of putting it in a little puddle. Just because when you blow it yourself, you have to blow pretty hard to get all that color to come through. But I do think this ends up being really pretty, and I think under resin it's going to be really nice. So, sorry about my big head, but here is our bloom. We still have a little bit too much cell activator in that one spot, so I'm probably gathering my turkey baster so I can break that up a little bit. I like a turkey baster instead of a straw because, oh, nope, just going to get my whole big old head right in the way. But the turkey baster has a larger opening at the bottom, so I just blow through the top, and it's just a little bit more effective for me than a straw. I've never really used a straw much though, so that may be an unfair comparison. So just making sure that I have enough movement there. Considering how rusty I was pretty happy with this blow. I did have too much paint underneath because the pillow paint was so thick. So one thing I should have done differently was spread out that pillow paint a little bit better on the bottom because, excuse me, as I spun this out and it had so much in the middle that I lost some of my nice plump, small little cells in the middle, and they became a little too wobbly, and some of them looked a little crooked as it dried. It wasn't the paint's fault as far as my mix. Just too much pillow paint can cause that because your design doesn't hold up because it's moving around underneath. So I recently tried to use an old thick pillow paint for some coasters. I don't even know if I'll ever release the video. The colors were really beautiful, so I might. But almost as soon as I finished the coasters, they were wobbling and losing their shape. And I was like, what is this? Is it my cell activator? But it wasn't my cell activator because I had done some earlier that night with a different pillow and not had that problem. And I was like, so either it's this paint, the paint's too glossy, or it's the pillow paint. So when I finally tried a different pillow paint and the same colors for the most part and didn't get that result, I was like, okay, there's too much paint underneath and that's what's causing this. But it was still super frustrating because they were really pretty, and now I'm just going to use the paint skins, I guess. But I share all this with you because if you haven't done blooms for a long time, sometimes you don't know what's causing you the trouble, and it can be really frustrating, especially when you don't get to paint that often and you really need a win. It can be super frustrating when you finally get to paint and then everything goes to poo and you're like, what's happening, you know? So anyway, there's a lot of things that can cause issues when you're doing a technique that's advanced like the bloom. So many things it can be. So you kind of learn to figure out it's either this, or this, and kind of start to reason through what it might be. And, you know, as I edit this video and I look at this bloom, I'm like, this is a really pretty bloom. Like, there's too much white in the center based on what I was going for, because I know what I was going for. I was going for what you kind of see on the outer edges where the white kind of outlines the cells, not becomes the main event. But, you know, on the outside looking in, you may not know that's what I was going for and maybe like, what's the problem, you know? So it is pretty. It's going to be really pretty under resin. But there are some parts that definitely spread out and moved a little bit more than I was hoping they would. And that was because of that amount of time that it was sitting there with all that pillow paint underneath. And I don't think that my surface was perfectly level when it was drying. So, you know, what do? You do your best. That's what you do. So I'm going to show you a close-up shortly. And we have our Colourarte collaboration event next week. I don't know when this video is going to go out, but I think it's on the 13th. Anyway, stay tuned. It'll be great. So here is the close-up. You can see how gorgeous the colors are together. That Prussian violet is just an incredible color. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know you're here. Don't forget to check out the description box, and I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year to everyone, and I'll talk to you very soon. Look at those colors. They're so pretty. Oof. You got to check out these fluid acrylics. They're amazing. I love them so much. Can't wait to see the new ones. Okay, talk to you guys soon.